Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hey, so listen, I had an idea. I think I want to do like a quick tip Friday. I know quick tip Tuesday or 2-minute Tuesday, Peter McKinnon. I know that sounds pretty snappy and cool and whatever. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm just trying to think of something that I can do, trying some different formats that I can show you some quick tips and not make it a 20-minute video. But I can tell this is already going to be like a 20-minute video. But I want your comments below if you guys have any ideas of like a quick tip name that I could do for Fridays, because I publish on Wednesday. Almost never have my Friday video done until like the day of. So I'm thinking that'll help me out, get some quick content without spending all day on Friday making a YouTube video that then you don't even see because I don't get it out till midnight. And the other thing is I want to make a format that's just like getting you quick tips. So as I was thinking about this video, it made me think of a couple quick tips I could show you, and then it snowballed into this big thing. So here's what we're going to do. So for today, first, comment below if you have any ideas for names and also the new format. If the videos were like 2 minutes to 10 minutes long instead of these 20-minute tutorials that I do, what you think about that? At least for Fridays. Maybe Wednesdays will still be long. And then the other thing I want to do is I'm going to show you a couple things. So let's see, a couple videos ago, I showed you some of the portfolio templates. So I'm going to show you one more feature there, and then I want to show you some keyboard shortcuts and how you can work really fast and efficiently by creating your own shortcuts for the programs. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to make a new document for us to play in. And back in that video, I'll link it up top where we talked about the portfolio template files. I want to show you this real quick. And if you want, you can grab the asset for this. I'm going to make a Dropbox link down below. So that way, if these templates change, you'll still have access to them. So I'm under art and illustration right now. And I scroll down and I see this halftone textures template. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click open or double click on it. I've already downloaded it. You'll have to hit download first. But anyway, with this open, what I want to show you, so this is going to be a 2-tip Friday. The first tip is in this file, I have all these different halftone patterns. So as I click on them and turn them on and off, you'll notice it changes here. And it's got a color up top that I can change the color to anything I want. I'm just going to change it here. Hit Option Delete. Actually, let's put it something like this. So you can see this changes the color of the texture on top. I'll turn that off for a second. And then we are going to look at this smart object. I'm going to open this up and you could put your artwork directly inside of here. Let's go ahead and throw something in here real quick. We'll center it up. And let's throw something down below it. We'll sample this color. I've done this before. So we'll save that. And the smart object will refresh over here in this document, and I have the texture over the top, which is cool, super cool. But what I want to show you is a way to duplicate this layer into a brand new document. So what I'm going to do is we are going to click on this halftone texture, and let's just pretend like you had another piece of artwork open. In fact, let me just let's just make something new real quick. I'll make a new document. We'll just open up something blank. We'll throw this in here, and let's say this was just a different design that I had going on, okay? And what I'm gonna do is bring over this halftone texture. So I have all these different textures from that template that I could grab, and there's a couple ways to do it. I can grab the layer, and I'm just going to, right now I've got auto select selected on the layer. If I hold down the command key, now no matter where I click, it turns off this auto select. So by holding down the command key, it toggles that on and off. Or it does the opposite. If I had this turned off and I hold down command key, now it turns on auto select. So if I wanted to select a different layer, or if I wanted to have it just take that layer no matter where I select it. Okay, so I grab this, I hover over my new document, and I bring it back in here. Well, that's one way to duplicate this texture, which is awesome. That's cool. But what I want to show you, this is not going to work. I can tell already right now. There's no way that I'm going to be able to do like a 2-minute tip, but we're going to try it. Or quick tip, whatever it turns into. So here is this layer, and another way that you can clone this to a new document instead of having to drag and drop and move it is come up here to layer and come down to duplicate layer. I'm going to click on that, and what I can do is instead of duplicating it right within this file, so this is halftone 11. If I click OK, you'll see probably halftone 11 copy. Well, that's cool. But if I come down here to layer, back down to duplicate layer, and I changed the document destination from Untitled 1, which is this one we're working in, and I changed it to say Untitled 2, which is this new one that I made. We'll click OK. It's going to jump cut this over into a new document here. So that halftone 11 copy is now right here. Well, that's pretty cool. You can also, if I come back to layer, let's go back to the other document. We're still on halftone 11 copy. We'll go to layer, down to duplicate layer, and the destination. I can actually create a whole new document with that. So I'll click new, and it's going to create a whole new document that's sized to that layer size. I hope that makes sense. That's really cool. Now, one thing you'll notice is that this shortcut here, actually, this doesn't exist. This is one of my shortcuts. So this is the second part of what was supposed to be a quick tip and is going to be nowhere near that. But we're going to jump back over into Edit. I'm going to come all the way down to Keyboard Shortcuts. Hey, for those of you on PCs, can you comment below if the keyboard shortcuts live somewhere else on your system? I think it's under the Edit menu, but what we're looking for is the keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to click on that. And I have my own set of shortcuts that I've saved. But if I put this back to the Photoshop defaults and I click OK, and I come back up to this layer, duplicate layer, there is no shortcut for this. So this was a shortcut that I actually created so that way I can quickly jump cut layers to other files. So what we're gonna do is come back to Edit, come down to Keyboard Shortcuts, and I'm going to look for, so right here, these are all the application menus right here. So if we look at the top, we've got File, Edit, Image, Layer Type. Same thing here, File, Edit, Image, Layer Type. So it's just the this menu system you see. So if we scroll down under the Layer menu, and I can scroll with my mouse, or I can click over here and just drag this down just a little bit, you can see we have the Duplicate Layer function that currently has no shortcut assigned to it. So if I click on this, I can click in this little box, and I'm going to make the shortcut Command, Control, Shift, and the letter D. And the reason why I have so many modifier keys in the shortcut is because by default, Photoshop already has a lot of shortcuts built in. So I don't want to write over the top of something else. I'm going to go ahead and hit the return key. And now that shortcut has been assigned. So when I click OK and I come back into my layer, down to duplicate layer, I can see that shortcut now lives there. Now here's one other place where I would use the shortcut and create my own shortcuts. So by default, when you want to rename layers, like let's say I don't want to say halftone 11 copy, maybe I want to call it texture or something else. There's no way to rename this unless I go to layer, down to rename layer, and there's no shortcut, or I have to double click on the layer, which is fine, but it slows me down because I like to work with shortcuts and my hands are on the keyboards most of the time. So what I'm going to do is come back to let's see what we say under Edit, down to the keyboard shortcuts, and under the layer menu, we're going to go down to rename layer. There it is. And I'm going to make the shortcut, let's see, Command, Shift, and the letter R for rename. And it says that will already, let's see right here, it's already in use. It will be removed from the filter, the lens correction. So I almost never use the lens correction filter. I take that back. I use it, but not enough. I use renaming layers like in every file, but I don't use the lens correction. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that. So I'm going to go ahead and say accept and go to conflict. So there's the lens correction. So now that I've overwritten that, if I wanted to make a new shortcut here, I could, or I could just click OK. And now I have a new, if I go to layer, down to rename layer, that new shortcut now exists. So on any layer, now I just hit Command Shift R and I can type in my name for that layer and then I'll hit return. And that's it. So now if I come back to my other designs and I want to get fancy and rename things, just hit Command Shift R, type in a name, my layer name, hit return, and we're good to go. Oh, you wanted to jump cut this into a new document? Well, that's fancy. Let's go ahead and do that too. So Command, Control, Shift, and the letter D, and I can duplicate this, but we're going to throw it into a brand new document and click OK. And it opens up a brand new document inside Photoshop. Just like that. All right, guys. Wow, that felt like a lot. I think we did pretty good on the time. I know that I basically doubled up. We gave you 2 tips, and I did some, some preview before we jumped into this. So would love to get your feedback, you guys. I hope this is something you love, whether it's a shorty, on Friday, like a short 5 to 10 minute video, plus the whole like quick tip Friday thing. I need a name for it. So we've already got a few names in my vault, in the all access vault. We've got some members in there in my Slack channel that are giving me some ideas. So thank you guys for that. And I'd love to see what your guys' thoughts are. Check out the links below for all those assets for the video, as well as some other goodies we have down there. And thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next one.